DTLR Radio, your fashion, your lifestyle, your music, you're plugged in with Fatham Got the Juice, live from the Unruly Sprayground Studio on this Throwback Thursday, man. And it's a blessing, and it's a perfect day for this, man. We got a legend in the building, man, a friend of the family. I've been around this guy years and years, many years ago. I just had to reminisce with him, man. Legendary group. Greg Nice of Nice and Smooth is in the building. What up, Greg?
I'm here, baby. Just happy to be here. How you feel?
I'm good. How's life?
Life is great, man. Here today, gone today.
Now listen, here today, go today. Now listen, off mic, I was explaining to everybody, explaining to Greg. He don't remember this, of course. I mean, he's been through. He's been around for a long time. Many nights outside, just having a ball. But man, I had to be. I was no older than 10 years old. No older than 10 years old to be exact. My uncle Kenny Black, okay, salute to my uncle, had me outside, Laurelton's finest, Queens finest, that is, but we was at Tramps.
Great venue, great sound.
Venue. It was Greg Nice, Sadat X, Black Star, and I feel like Beatnuts was all on the same show. It was me. My uncle took me with him, because he was friend of Greg, great friend of Greg.
Yeah, that's correct. That's my brother.
And then Papito was there, other young kid, and then Rich Nice was there. I was just like, man, I couldn't wait to get older.
Yeah,
I couldn't wait to get older. I don't know what kind of car we jammed in at the end of the night. I can't remember who was even driving. I just remember it meant so much to me. I hung out with Greg Nice tonight.
That's beautiful, man.
And then going back to school and telling people that, ain't kind of like, man, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And back then there was no social media.
Right.
Nobody had the camera phone. So I have no footage of this.
If you wasn't there, then you wasn't there.
If you wasn't there, you wasn't there. And then I got another crazy story. Had to be about early 90s, of course, New York City. Yo, I'm in the car. Me, my cousin Chad, who lives in South Carolina now, his brothers, and then my uncle Keith was driving. Right? We're on 125th Street. Don't know why at the time. Late night, and it wasn't that late, but my cousin was like, yo, that go Nice and Smooth. And we was like, what? Yo, we pulled over, we spent the block, pulled over, and we got a picture with y'all behind the backdrop that just was, I don't know what y'all was doing on 250 that night. Who knows what was going on?
Hanging out.
Who knows what was going on? But when I say we were so hyped, I know somebody has that picture somewhere. You know, everybody, because you only got one picture back in the day.
Right.
So it's like, yo, you fighting over who got it. So that was his father that was driving, and that probably paid for the picture. So they got the picture. I never got it.
Never even thought about it like that.
Crazy.
I didn't even think of it like that. No, you can't, yeah.
Hey, you can't, you know what I'm saying?
For the picture, that's theirs.
Whoever paid for the picture was theirs. His pops paid for it, so went to him and was like, dang, I don't get the picture. Wow. But I get the memory, though.
Yeah.
I get the memory, and those memories live forever, and I will say, sir, that's a big part of why I love this culture.
Yes, sir.
I love this game. Nice and Smooth was a huge part of why I love this culture. Like, growing up, and, you know, I moved to the South young, right? And I remember I would still go back to New York, because New York is home. I don't care where I was at. Yo, New York, they get on me till this day. Like, you swear you from New York? I'm like, yo, I really am from New York. Like, all my family is from New York.
You're like, I ain't fronting.
Listen, I'm a Knicks fan, I'm a Giant fan, I'm a Yankee fan to the death. Like, I ain't going nowhere, right? And I can tell the stories of being at Branson's in the summertime when I come up on the break. And they don't understand. Yo, it was a candy store from 3 to 9, from 9 to 3. It was something else where every rapper in New York,
actors,
everybody,
athletes,
Dionne Warwick, everybody was coming. If you was doing anything back in them days and you was somebody, you was coming through Branson's.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
What May said, went from Helly Hansen's to Jaws of Branson's.
Went to Helly Hansen's to Jaws of Branson, man. R.I.P. Eddie. Shout out to my brother Lenny. Lenny did that night shift. That's my brother right there. So it was them days were monumental to where I'm at now.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Awesome, ain't it?
Yeah, it's a blessing, man. Now coming up to date, Rock the Bells Radio.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Greg Nice out here. We got this record butter going on right now. Talk to me, man. Talk to me.
Oh, man, it's just a beautiful thing, first and foremost, to be here for 40 years of doing what you like to do, getting to travel and see people and reminisce like how we doing right now. I'm just taking advantage of my time, because I understand that time is precious, and we're in an era where a lot of your peers and your relatives and people are passing on. They're going on to the other side. So do everything that you can do right now while you're moving. So I like to make music, and I still got the ability to do it. stay getting on that stage, tearing them up. So why not give them some music?
Listen, Nice and Smooth, for those that don't know, dynamic duo, like it was really nice and smooth. Like Smooth B would just come through on his smooth vibe. Greg Nice gonna come through. He gonna spit crazy, but the energy was always amazing. I remember, where did you tap in to get that energy from? Like, and it was always so consistent.
God did that.
Okay.
You heard me. I said, praise the Lord. Lord, keep the faith. It's all right. Keep biting at the bait. God did it all.
92, 1 year later, many years later.
Yeah, that's right.
Many years later. So, did you think back then, right, because hip hop was like a baby at that point, that it would still be around these days, 40 years later, 50 years later, I'm sorry?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know in what capacity, but I know it would be because I seen it transition from where it was before I, got to do my part. So, can't do nothing but grow.
Can't do nothing but grow it up.
Especially when it started making money, for the corporate people. The rest was history.
I think it's dope for me to be able to see the vets and the OGs still have a place and what you guys created, what you guys laid the foundation for, to be able to still feed your families, and move around. I think it's a wonderful thing. I know, we're in a different time where sometimes we try to push our legends to the side, right? And I'm not one of.
Only in hip hop.
Only in hip hop, which is the craziest thing.
Only in hip hop.
Which is the craziest thing. Why do you think we like that with our own people?
We like that. It's bigger than music. We like that with anything.
That's true.
With anything. That's why we're in a position that we're in right now. We have the talent, the ability to be the greatest thing on this planet, but we hold it back. We're the worst enemy. The Ku Klux Klan is not coming through your neighborhood killing you. Most of the murders and the crime that's happening in our neighborhoods, we're doing it to ourselves. And, people can go on and talk about what went on years and years ago, and this was instilled in you just since Jim Crow. And then you got to look at, if you haven't traveled outside of America, you don't know how a lot of people are suffering in a lot of third world countries. And those people are getting opportunities to come here, and they working their butts off. And, and the saying that they saying now is like, they're giving them this kind of money when you get here so they can start their businesses. We've been here long enough that you had welfare for so many years that you was buying new sneakers with it, doing all kind of other stuff where you could have been investing. It was a time they was giving away brownstones in Harlem for $5.
Speak on it.
So we always going to have an excuse.
We do. Oh,
we're not here for so long. We're here for a visit. All this is a visit. So you got to do as much as you can doing your little visit. I'm on my other side of the mountain going down. I'm on the other side going down now. I got more time behind me than I have ahead of me. So I'm going to make the best of it right now. And, I just went to visit another friend of mine in the hospital the other day. He's a well-known, famous artist, and nobody knows that he's in the hospital in ICU on a respirator.
Dang.
He's never had a drink, never had a smoke in his life. And it made me look at him, because he can't move his body, he can't open his mouth, he can't talk. He can open his eyes. And I spoke with him, and I just seen tears running down the side of his face. I had to wipe the tears on his face. And it let me know that sometimes you got to step outside of you and look at it, and then get back inside and do what you need to do. Because change will come slowly, but it ain't going to be fully blasted in our time. I mean, I'm not a fortune teller. I'm just going on what I've seen in the past and experience. If you can make something happen with somebody else and you get a group of people and y'all want to make something happen, then you do as much as you can, and hopefully you'll leave something back here so that the next generation will be able to grasp hold onto it. So other than that, man, we are worse enemies when it comes to support.
And I can't understand for the life of me why we're like that.
There's 1,000 reasons that your listeners and people that's listening to now, they'll give you 1,000 reasons. Some may dislike what I just said, but I don't have enough time to worry about them. But the point is, I mean, I came from nothing, you know what I mean? I come from tenement buildings. I come from a family where I had one woman raising the family. I don't know my father. And I've done so many things. I'm the last of 10 kids.
Wow, 10. 10.
It's in that individual. Some going to do it and some ain't going to do it. At the end of the day, and that's just how it is. You know, you can have that sister or brother. You may be the one that go work at DSLR, and you have one that be like, man, I ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, you just don't want to do something.
That's true. And then that one is mad that you went.
Then you complaining.
And yeah, that's true. Like you said, we gonna make some excuses.
Yes,
that's exactly what we're gonna do. You spoke a lot of facts though. Can't take nothing away from anything you just said. Nothing but Jim. Nothing but honesty. I do want to send prayers out to the legend that is in the hospital right now, fighting the fight.
Yeah.
I pray pulls through. I know we're not here forever. Like you said, it's a visit. Mm-hmm. But through Almighty God, I hope that he gets the strength to pull through and come back and do some legendary things.
Yeah, I pray. I know. He looked he looked real bad, man. Real bad.
Yeah, to never have a smoke or drink or anything, and being that's tough.
Yeah,
that's tough. And like you said, we got more time behind you than you do ahead of you.
Yeah, man. Everybody think they're gonna be 100.
Yeah, nah, we all ain't. We're all not gonna be 100.
And if you be 100, you ain't gonna be functioning like how you was functioning before.
You're not. It's probably not gonna be as enjoyable. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
At all. That you get somebody's pushing you around. Somebody got to feed you. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of that going on. But let's not think about that right now. Let's think about
the good times.
Let's think about the good times. The good times. Now, what brings you down the road? I always fuss about my good New York artists that I just did a DJ call. So I do a lot of these DJ calls, right? The labels will call me. Fadam, we want you to help me organize this DJ call. So I had to do one the other day with Capella Gray. Shout out to Capella. And I'm like, yo, you've never came to D.C. or Baltimore like that, right? I'm like, yo, we're a quick 3-4 hour train ride or car ride away. What brings you down here around this time?
I've been traveling all around the country. So.
Oh, no, I wasn't talking about you, but I'm saying these new artists. New artists is like, it's hard to get them to travel unless it's a big bag. They want 30, 40, 50 grand.
Yeah, well, I come from the grassroots. So the grassroots was getting out there and doing what we do, talking to the people, touching the people. I love to do that. When I'm in the show, you see how I am. I'm jump off the stage. I'm with the people. Mm-hmm. And a lot of cats they not that way. They not built that way. The blueprint that they have is I sit there and I send email, social media. You have access to them 24 hours a day, whereas though people from Ira, a lot of them don't sit on social media and don't do any of that. So when you get to see them, it's a real thing. And I like to come up in person. I like to make it personal when I do something. Again, because it'll be a time that you can't. Mm-hmm. And you have to take advantage of this, man, and realize that you're making a sacrifice for a lot of cats that's coming behind you. Just continue to do what you do and follow that blueprint. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
I love it. I started to come up. My uncle, he was kind of I felt like he was bragging a little bit to me, but he my uncle, so it's not really a brag, right? Mm-hmm. And he was telling me how much fun y'all was having up there for the 50 years of hip hop last year, and y'all was outside and y'all was just having a ball. I'm looking at all these pictures. He's sending me the pictures, and I'm just like, man, I'm like, dang, if I would have planned it right, I could have just came up there and set up shop and just really soaked up game. But I would love to just sit down with a lot of the legends, just to hear those stories, because not only do y'all have a lot of knowledge, right, but it's inspiration, especially for the ones that's still out here doing it like yourself, and to see you go from nice and smooth, well, not even see you go, but to see you also add something else to your repertoire with doing Rock the Bells Radio. How did you get into that part?
LL Cool J called me and was like, I'm getting ready to open the station. I want you to be a part of it with me. I was like, all right. And 5 days later, I was going to California, and we started working it out, and this has been the 4th year.
Oh, man.
So it's getting bigger.
It is. Yeah. It is. How well do you enjoy it? Or how hard was the transition for you?
It wasn't. No. I mean, I do all kind of stuff. I mean, for a person that don't know me, I'm just, I'm saying it. I ain't saying it to you.
Right.
I'm active when I do things. I'm physical when I do things. I know when it's time to be serious, when it's time to play around, and I can make you laugh and do what I need to do. And it wasn't so much of a transition as far as doing that. I do it every day. Only difference is we did it with the microphone in front of us and the cameras on. And this is a beautiful thing. It's helping so many of our peers.
Beautiful thing that's helping a lot of peers. Rock the Bell Radio.
Yep, Channel 43, Sirius XM, if you're listening.
Listen, one thing I know, they play a lot of hits. They play a lot of just our classics. I hear so many great things. It takes you back to an era for me, a time when I was a kid. Like when you really, people ask that cliche question, when did you fall in love with hip hop? And I just heard somebody say it recently, like, yo, Vince Staples said it. It's like, that's a wild question. Like, when you fall in love with hip hop, like, hip hop has always been in me. So I can't tell you a time where I really, when I heard this song, like, I grew up listening to all of it. So I can't tell you when I fell in love with it. But one thing I know is I love it and it's here, and I'm never letting it go, and I'm going to do my part to contribute to the culture. What's your thoughts on the hip hop nowadays, the new era of hip hop?
I don't really know much of it.
Gotcha.
Whatever's the mainstream thing, I may know 2 or 3 things, but I don't know most of it because I don't listen to the stations. I don't listen to the stations, and I'm not a guy that searches through the internet and things like that. So I think that's for a younger demographic as far as chasing and searching the internet and doing that. I don't do that. I don't be on Spotify or
Apple Music and all that. Yeah.
So,
I could dig it. Now, with the way things are going right now, where do you see hip hop going in the next 10 years?
I don't know. I don't know if I'll be here in 10 years. We don't know what's going on. We got an election going on right now.
Oh, yeah, it's looking crazy.
We got a lot of division going on between the people, and everybody talk about stuff but ain't doing nothing. There's no telling, man. There's no telling what's going to be out here. I'm taking each day by day, and enjoying my breath, because this is crazy out here. Crazier than a busload of Jerry's kids.
Very crazy. Now, do y'all plan on, or is there talks about bringing the full Rock the Bells festival back? I remember a few years ago, it was out, and I felt like it was going to a lot of markets, and then it stopped kinda, and then I saw they did it.
What are you talking about?
I feel like about 5-6 years ago, I feel like it was more. I was seeing it a little more consistent, because I remember it came down here to DC, but now like I haven't seen it come back to DC.
The time you talking about was before. It was longer than that.
Yeah. Okay.
It was longer than that. Right now, L is just doing it in Queens.
Yeah, I peeped that.
He's doing it in Queens, and he's doing it on a cruise ship.
Oh, that's fire.
So, there's no telling, though. A lot of people come, the turnout be amazing. And what had happened with these other jokers had went and used the name Rock the Bells.
That's what it was. Somebody tried to steal the name. Yeah.
So he took them to court and took control of the name. So that's why the demographic of it changed. Because there was a lot of the other kids was out there. Yeah. The ones that be in the mud and all of that.
And that's not us. Yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of people come, like all kind of nationalities. They come from around the world to that festival. I had an opportunity to be there just once. I wasn't there for the second time because I was on the road doing show. I was actually here. I was doing the Crab Fest the day of that. I was doing the Crab Fest, and then we left straight from the Crab Fest. Got on a flight from BWI, went straight to Springfield, Mass, and did a festival there, and then left there and went to Connecticut and stopped back in Jersey.
Do y'all get a lot of sample requests? I feel like y'all should.
A lot of who?
Sample requests.
What do you mean by sample requests?
People sampling y'all music.
Yeah, people do it. I'm more into like placements.
Placement, yeah.
I like placement a little better. But yeah, they do. It could be from all over the world, from different bugged out places or bugged out situations. But I'll take it.
Listen, I'll take it. Let's grab it. Let's make it happen. Do you have any children? You don't? Oh wow, I didn't know that. I'm shocked. How have you been able to dodge that?
Doing the same things I've been doing.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Because I still don't have none, so I'm out here dodging. Although I do have a lady, I love her very dearly. But you know, it's been a bit.
Is she on the same page as you?
So she has a kid. So she got hers. We've been together a few years now, but yeah, we on the same page for the most part. Yeah, like I know I do a lot of. I'm after something right now.
Okay.
You know, I'm driven. I'm really focused and locked in on it. So it's a lot of work time, and you know, I do get the time to enjoy with the family and all that good stuff as well. But you know, I kind of locked in on, you know, this mission of just trying to leave a good legacy or just make a real impact on the culture. You know, I grew up watching this firsthand. And I think people down here don't really get it the same way. When you're in New York and you see it firsthand, you see it grow, it's a lot of motivation behind it. You know, so you want to really be able to impact like you've seen others do in the past. Like, you know, when you look at people that you know, like, oh, was from this neighborhood and from there, it's like, man, that's crazy. You know, so it's a bit more believable.
Right.
A bit more believable. You feel like it's a bit more attainable. So I'm still pushing for that. You know,
that's there for you, man.
Fighting that fight. What else is Greg doing in the days when he's not working, man? When you're not in the studio putting a new record down, when you're not on radio, what Greg doing these days?
Mostly that.
Mostly that.
You know, I started smoking cigars, drinking beer, learning how to enjoy life. Whether it's sitting in a chair or, you know, taking a trip, doing whatever I can do to enjoy life, because I wasn't doing that before at all.
Really?
Never.
Man.
Never.
It was just work.
And always trying to stick your hand out for somebody else.
Ah, that's tough.
Then you learn, like, hold on, man. Half of this is gone. If I want to go sit on the grass in that park, leave me alone. Let me go sit in that grass in the park, man.
Let me ask you something now that I think about it. You said something that kind of struck something with me. What was it like being Greg Nice back in the early 90s in New York City?
I mean, to the people and the ones that you meet and you can put a smile on their face, that's incredible. That was incredible. But me, just before you knew it, the day was over. It was another day. They said it's 24 hours in a day. It was like 5 hours. That was it.
Like a run-on sentence almost.
Yeah, it was moving around all day long. Grateful, though.
Grateful,
though. You know, seeing dreams come true right before your face. And actually, it's things that you knew it was going to do it. You kind of like, you knew it. And it happened to the point where, you know, sometimes I ask myself, did this really happen? Like when I spoke to Black earlier, I said, telling me different things. I'm like, damn, that happened? Sometimes I thought it was a dream. It really happened? Because, you know, like, it's been like going on 13 years. Like 13 years.
For real?
So everything is just, what? That happened? You know, so.
So it's hard to even remember for you, like, your most memorable experience.
No, I remember things happen, but things as far as like reality, like believing that this really happened.
This really happened.
You know?
Yeah, it's shocking. Like that, I lived a life.
Yeah,
I lived a life. What's one of your most memorable experiences?
I don't. Man. Staying with Tupac.
Oh man.
The last 2 months of his life.
Dang, for real?
First time going on an airplane and somebody else was paying for it.
Ah, that's fire. That's a good feeling, actually.
The first time you got to have 20,000 people repeat everything you say at once. The women.
What's your favorite city? Since you're speaking of women.
As far as
not just in general, not necessarily the women.
oh, okay. I'm like,
What the favorite city with the women? Or they all the same?
Toronto.
I keep hearing that. I gotta rethink taking my girl up there for her birthday now. This is crazy.
Minneapolis.
Wow, I ain't hit it. That's a sleeper.
California. Yeah, there's some other spots, but
What's the best food city?
I don't know. California got a lot of food.
I can't find no good food in Cali.
Yeah, I found a lot of good food.
For real, I can't find no good food. Shout out to Cali. I can't
because they have so many different kind of foods to eat.
They do.
So it depends on what you want at that time too. Most of the food, it tastes clean. I don't know.
I will say that.
I don't know if there's a lot of farms or whatever going on out there. Most of it tastes clean.
I hear great things about New Orleans.
I can't remember having great food in New Orleans. The times that I've been there. First time I had Popeyes was over there.
I heard their Popeyes is different than the rest of the Popeyes in the country.
Yeah, this was in 1989 though, so I don't.
89 and number. Whoo, some numbers right there. 35 years ago. 35 years ago, man. We've come a long way. We have come a long way. Talk to me about this Butter record, man. I'm hearing a lot. I'm hearing great things about it. How do you keep your pen game shut? Like, how do you still have it like this?
I just do what I do. I don't use a pen. I don't.
You don't use a pen?
Yeah, I can't write with a paper and a pen. It seems like I'm doing something wrong if I try to do it. I'm thinking too hard if I'm trying to do it. I just gotta sit there for a second and feel what I'm feeling, and then the rest comes out like that. And I do it for me first of all. Whatever I'm doing, I do it for me. And a lot of times it's hard for somebody to grasp onto something that's different. Because you could do the same old thing that everybody else do, and everybody be like, yeah, I like that, I love it. So it's hard for me to do that, especially coming from a time of when we come from. KRS One said it, you had to have style, learn to be original, or else everyone would dish you. And, we come from that. So as far as creating, what James Brown says, smothered steak, candy ham, mashed potato. But it's just like how he said it. Is what makes that shit so fly. So that's what I do. I do it for me and whoever fucks with Greg Nice. You rock with Greg Nice, then we rockin'.
If you rock with Greg Nice.
Greg Nice is Greg Nice. Nice and smooth is nice and smooth. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing what I'm doing. If it ain't broke, I ain't gonna fix it. Just gonna have some fun and enjoy myself. Again, like I said before, a lot of times your concern was about what somebody else is thinking or what somebody else is doing or who you're trying to please. So I'm past that now, so I feel good.
Let me ask you something. Being an elder in this game, were the contracts as bad as they say they were back in the day? Like, do you remember the first contract you signed?
I'm not going to say it was bad because, first of all, you didn't pay none of the money to record it. You didn't pay none of the money to manufacture it, originally out of your own pockets. You didn't pay the money that they spent to do marketing and promotions. The other kind of promotions, you didn't pay that part neither. So, and a lot of them, the records you may have made may have had of different samples in it, or may have had different interpolations of different things that you were singing to or whatever. So now those people have to get theirs, and say you may have sold 200,000 albums at $12 a head. They had to recoup their money back
before you made
So some people will try to hold them accountable. I take it as a bridge because it got me to another level for me to be able to do something else. So now with a contract today, from what I'm hearing, is that they want this percentage, this percentage, this percentage. So when we were coming up, they didn't have the rights to your merchandise, and they didn't have the rights to your physical being as far as when you're performing, and they didn't. The only thing they had rights to was the hard copy of that album or whatever, that vinyl or whatever it was, cassette, and that was it. So you can go make your money on the side and do what you wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hearing today, you know, they got like somewhat of a monopoly on it, where you have to be with this company as far as your radio play, then you got to be with this company as far as your bookings at your concerts. The venue is owned by this other big company, the same ones, and then other guys own the tickets, and they all under the same umbrella.
That's a lot.
So when I was coming up, that would be like a conflict of interest. But you know, anything goes today. And then I guess they looking at it like too, man, we don't have the physical copy no more.
Yeah, they
so
don't.
We got to have some way to
make this money back.
Right, and we made you a star. We paid for all that airplay and all of that you got going on. We paid for it. So now if I just let you go, that's like a pimp. Whatever, be like,
yeah.
No, man, you ain't going nowhere, baby.
After I invested all this bread in you and helped you blow up, and
now
it's just like
now you could do TV. Now you could do a movie. Hold on. I gotta give me something.
Y'all was in some movies back in the day.
Yeah.
What y'all was in Juice?
I was in
Who's the Man?
Smooth was in Who's the Man. I didn't go.
Why you didn't go?
Man, I was riding around in my car with the windows up. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm driving around, hanging up by bees, just chilling.
Hey yo, that was a classic too.
But we did Strictly Business. So
Strictly Business. Y'all did Strictly Business.
Yeah, that was fun. And rest his soul, Andre Harrell, that's my man. So that's why
R.I.P. Andre Harrell.
That was his film. And he brought in the director, Kevin Hooks, from the White Shadow TV show. That was great. Got to hang out with Kevin Hooks. And originally, Puff was in the movie with us too.
For real?
Yeah,
Strictly Business?
Yeah, he was in the part that Redhead Kingpin played in the part that Puff was at. So Puff had got into a fight with the union leader's son of the film department.
Oh,
and
man.
it was like, this whole movie is going to be shut down if this guy is not out of here. So we went to the trailer and...
Wait, Strictly Business almost didn't happen because of Puff?
Police came in with the handcuffs, tell him turn around.
Oh my gosh.
So then they put Redhead Kingpin in, and we reshot it.
Wow. That's one of my favorite movies too. I love that movie. I love the 90s classics, man. Just being, it made it so much more relatable seeing the hip hop stars in it as well. You know, like and just the scenery, the club scenes, and
when people still dance.
Yeah, it was
still had to call somebody on a regular phone.
Yeah, man. It was
no internet.
Special.
You might see a beeper.
Yo, I think I'll make my girl watch that. I'm sure she ain't never seen it. I feel like a lot of our New York culture is just stuck in New York, and it skipped over some of these southern states. You know, they was hating still back then, but you know, it is what it is. Mr. Greg Nice, I appreciate you for being here.
Appreciate you too,
Listen,
brother.
can you leave the people with some last words from Mr. Greg Nice, please?
Live your life as precious. You're here today, gone today. Don't worry about what they say, because when your lights going off, ain't none of them there to help pay your bill.
At all.
Do what you do. Live your life.
Listen, y'all hear the legend himself, Mr. Greg Nice is here. Rock the Bells Radio. Let the people know once again where to listen to it at.
Rock the Bells Radio is on Sirius XM. You can download the app for free, get the service for 2 months for free, and go to channel 43, which is Rock the Bells. And they also have Rock the Bells Clean, so if you want your kids to listen to it, they can listen to it as well. Even though it's on internet radio, you can still hear it for the kids. So LL did that as well, so that's a plus. And you need to reach me. Just go to GregNiceOfficial.com. GregNiceOfficial.com. That's where everything is at. That's where the music is at. The videos is at. Everything that I got going on is there. And I'll see you there.
Hey, listen, GregNiceOfficial.com. Make sure y'all tap in. Fadam got the juice. DTLR Radio Throwback Thursday. We out.